Donald Trump, after being crucified by the National Association of Black Journalists, went to do a rally in Pennsylvania that was equally as embarrassing. He really is flailing and floundering, as it seems he doesn't really know how to land his usual attacks on someone like Kamala, and obviously he never speaks of substance or policy, so it's all around a losing battle. So I pulled a few of these clips for us to analyze and provide some context.
It was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before, and a small portion walked peacefully and patriotically down to the Capitol. You remember the term? Peacefully and patriotically. He's horrible. It's insurrection. You know, if you have an insurrection, you don't say peacefully and patriotically, right, Mike? You say, let's go.
Now, to be clear, to constitute an insurrection, you have to be trying to usurp a government and violence has to be involved. In a different video, maybe we'll go into the historical precedents and why this is so and what the founding fathers meant when they wrote insurrection clauses. But that's what's important to know in a crunch, right? And it starts way before January 6th with the actions that he planned. He started by, for months, saying the only way he'd lose is if there was fraud. He was setting the stage for it. He then, on the night of the votes, tried to call the election before the mail-in ballots were counted, as he was up at the time and he knew that the mail-in ballots would predominantly go to Democrats. He then took fraudulent electors in 7 different states. The difference is, in all 50 states, the state itself has to certify the electors. Even if there's alternate electors, the state still has to certify those. There's a specific process they go through to be identified, to cast their votes, to do it all. His electors were not certified by the state, yet they signed certificates stating that they were. They went to the Capitol the day the electors were supposed to in an attempt to mimic the full duties of actual electors. This makes them fraudulent, not alternative. The difference, again, in like JFK's case where alternate electors were used, they were certified by state bodies in Hawaii. Not a single state body certified Trump's electors. He then tried to use this to get Mike Pence to throw the election back to the states. When Mike Pence refused, Trump, in his January 6th speech that he's talking about in this clip right here, told the crowd to go pressure Mike Pence to accept his electors that were knowingly fake and to fight like hell to save his country. Those people then went to the Capitol trying to find Mike Pence and force him to go against the Electoral Count Act and to accept fraudulent electors, doing so to avert the actual votes to Trump's fake ones. That is election fraud. That is an attempt to overthrow democracy and government, and in it culminating in a violent attempt to do so, January 6th becomes an insurrection.
They're trying to delete everything she said. Hey, did you ever see the Unselect Committee? The Unselect Committee on January 6th, did you see where they went and deleted and destroyed all evidence? Was deleted and destroyed. So I think, Dan, you and all of my friends here, they should be indicted for that.
Okay, a couple more lies to clear up about the insurrection. All the evidence from the January 6th committee is still available to see publicly, and it's all online for anyone to view. It always has been. You can read the full report yourself. Right now, there's zero evidence of anything being deleted. Again, it's been up the whole time. And this riot happened on federal land, meaning the chain of command for calling troops, security, whatever, went all the way up to the president. He never officially asked for 10,000 troops. The day before January 6th, on January 5th, in a meeting about other topics, he casually mentioned quickly that you might need a large number of troops for the Capitol. He did throw out 10,000, but it wasn't an official ask. He even said someone would have to ask, asserting like, I'm not asking right now, and then shifted the conversation off the topic. With how hyperbolic Trump is, obviously people weren't like, oh, he literally means 10,000. He didn't literally mean 10,000. He was just saying things in a casual conversation. It wasn't a formal request of any kind, and it wasn't shot down. And then when the riot was happening and he sat in his office, he didn't call for any troops. He refused to even send a message telling the rioters to calm down, even after being advised to do so by every advisor close to him, even his family that had ran in begging him to do something to call his dogs off. After 3 hours of letting this happen, after calling state officials and Mike Pence and trying to pressure all them to help him do his coup, he finally did send a message telling them to calm down, to leave, hey, you should go home, and everyone immediately started to leave when he did.
Wasn't tough on crime. She's only tough on guys like me.
Kamala Harris needs to add a, I'm Kamala Harris and I approve this message at the end of this and turn it into an ad, because you mean she goes after felons, sexual abusers? Yeah, she actually did do that as a prosecutor. And it's also exactly why Trump is scared to debate her. This is just another show, by the way, of how Republican messaging is all over the place, because half of them will say, oh, she locked up people for weed charges for life and sent them and kept them in prison and went after truant parents and all of this, which is untrue, as we've already covered and debunked. And then the other half will say she's soft on crime, she's a liberal on crime. And you kind of got to pick one because they're antithetical to each other. But whatever, it's Republicans, right? And it's great to see them floundering this hard on messaging, unable to respond, still in shock, it seems, for as the Democrats' 4D chess move has them 2 steps ahead of MAGA, who is still playing checkers. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.